at the beginning of the year. I think at the beginning of every year, I'm like, I'm not going to buy as many books. I'm going to whittle down my TBR. And then by the end of the month of the first of the year, I'm like, just forget it. Forget it. Hello, everyone. My name is Heather, and welcome to the channel Bookables, and welcome to my first book haul of 2025. I have a lot of books, and 95% of these I purchased and was not sent, so the blame is all on me. But you know what? It is what it is. Reading is my job and my passion, so I'm not going to apologize for it. So yeah, I have a lot of books I want to share. And we're going to get into it. But first, I want to thank the sponsor of this video, Book of the Month. Book of the Month is a book service for readers. Each month, their team vets hundreds of new titles and selects 5 to 7 of brand new titles and sometimes even early release titles for you to choose from. In fact, their whole mission is to help readers discover new books that they'll love and to help promote the works of emerging authors. How it works is each month you go on their site, figure out what books they have selected, and you pick one, sometimes more, wink, wink, and you have it delivered right to your doorstep. Also, what's amazing is maybe you don't love reading physically. Maybe you're an audiobook lover. I can understand that. I have fallen in love with audiobooks recently. They are now offering audiobooks instead of physical books. So in case you see one book, you're like, man, I really want to listen to that book, you can select the audiobook for that instead of the physical book. So they are giving you options, my friend, and that is phenomenal. Some books are just better on audio, and I will stand by that. Some books are better physically. Either way, reading is reading, my friend. What's great is they are always doing a great promotion, and since it is the month of love, they are offering their first book from Book of the Month for only $9.99 using the code CRUSH. So, you know, Valentine's Day is coming up, Galentine's Day is coming up. In case you don't have a significant other to tell you to be like, hey, I don't want roses, I want books from Book of the Month. I feel you and I respect that 1000%. You can say to your girlfriends, hey, want to do some Galentine's gifts? Let's give each other Book of the Month books. Like, that's phenomenal. It's an amazing thing and I love that. So, hey, it's the month of love. Ask for books instead of flowers. I'm just going to say that. Books over flowers any day that ends with Y. But I love flowers too, so, you know, maybe you could do books and flowers. You know, there's no choice. You could do both, but if you had to pick, you know, books. I get it. Books. Be sure to check out Book of the Month. I never regret picking Book of the Month because I love their selections. I have found some of my favorite books through them. In fact, a book that they selected last month was my very first 5-star read of the year. So I love their selections. They always do a wide array of them between like romance, historical, fantasy. They just have a wide array and I love it for that. So I have 2 books I picked out this month that I am very, very excited for. First one being First Time Caller by B.K. Borison, an author I love. She wrote the Love Light Farm series, which I love and adore. This is a brand new book. I don't think it's a series, but this is like very much heavily inspired by Sleepless in Seattle with a podcast instead of like a radio show, and I think I'm going to eat this up. It is the perfect time to read this book because of the month of love, and I'm very excited for it. And the other book I selected is a little bit of a wild card for me, and that is Black Woods, Blue Sky by Ewan Ivey. And this one just sounds, it says it's a mythical landscapes of Alaska with an unforgettable dark fairy tale that asks the questions, can love save us from ourselves? It just sounds very interesting. So, you know, these 2 books are just some of their selections, so be sure to check out other ones because they have a great selection this month and every month, honestly. So like I said, use the code CRUSH at checkout and you can get your first book for $9.99, which is always an amazing steal. So thank you so much to Book of the Month for sponsoring this video. Now on to all the other books I bought because it's a lot. So I bought a lot of books. Let's get into it. First up, of course, I have Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. I literally just finished Iron Flame, which I'm very proud of myself, and I'm starting this one. So I did manage to get the Target edition, but before that I accidentally bought a copy on Amazon, just a regular copy, so I might do a giveaway for this one because I don't need 2 of these. That has all the dragons on it. Like, how cool is that? It's also got the map in it. I don't think there's anything on the hardcover. That's a total waste. They could have done a lot with that, but they didn't. I think the Barnes & Noble copy, maybe special edition, has some artwork or something. I don't know. I'm not that crazy much into... I cannot get this freaking sleeve back on. I'm not that crazy into special editions. If I can get them, great. If not, not a big deal. But either way, this is the 3rd book in the Empire, whatever, Fourth Wing series. I eat it up like candy, okay? Like, is it overhyped? Abso-freaking-lutely, but... I'm in it. I'm in it for the long haul, okay? Okay, moving on. Another new book I got that's new release is Beg, Borrow, or Steal by Sarah Adams. I've already read this one as well. This one is the third book in her Rome, Kentucky series. It follows each one of the Walker siblings. This one follows Emily, and she's a teacher, and then her nemesis Jack moves back in town. Not only that, but he moves in literally next door, and it's enemies to lovers. Small town romance that I adore. I love this series. Love Sarah Adams. If you just want kind of ooey gooey romantic books, look no further than this. Then I also bought The Favorites by Lane Fargo. This is one I wasn't even planning to read. Read it, fell in love with it. My favorite book of the year so far. And I know it's the beginning of the year, so I can't really say much. But this one follows a character named Kat, and she is a ice dancer, which is different from figure skating, if you will. Like, it's kind of the same, but not, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how to explain it. So this book is mixed media. So half of it's from her point of view, telling her story. Then the other half is from the documentary about Kat and Heath, her skating partner, who she's known since she was a child. And this book is amazing. Audiobook, phenomenal. If you want to read this, audiobook, the only way to go, because it's full cast, does the whole documentary thing. You feel immersed in it. Like, after this book ends, you will think that they are real characters. It's very much like Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid, another book that I love and adore. But this book is full of drama with the whole Kat and Heath love story. Very intense, very dramatic. I loved it. So highly recommend it. Very glad I bought it. It's Quicksilver by Callie Hart. I bought this. I'm going to attempt to read it soon. It is freaking, how many pages is this book? Oh, it's over 600 pages. Not a big deal. I don't know much about it. I think it was very big last year with the Romantasy, so I'm really trying to get into that because I do enjoy it. I've just learned it takes me a long time. Like, Iron Flame took me like 2 freaking weeks to read, and I know that's a lot, but kids, man, kids. But I'm like, you know what? I enjoy them. If it's going to take me that long, then it's going to take me that long. Will I read less books that month? That's going to be fine. I'm really trying to fix that in 2025. Like, it's not about quantity. It's not about quantity. It's about quality. I don't know if this is a quality book. Can't tell you that for sure, but I'll let you know when I read it. I don't know anything about it other than Romantasy, steamy. That's all I got. Then a book that was sold to me at Barnes & Noble, like by the little cards, and that is The Twilight Garden by Sarah and Nisha Adams. Have I heard anything about this book? No. But it said if you are a backyard gardener, you must read this book. And I'm a backyard gardener. Last year I fell in love with flower gardening. I grew so many flowers. Like, I did zinnias from seeds. I did sunflower from seeds. I learned which flowers really thrive in my yard, which don't. And that made me fall in love with it. And this year I'm going into vegetable gardening. You will see a little bit more into that. So this book is basically about 2 warring London neighbors unite to resurrect a neglected city garden in this quietly joyful novel. And so I'm waiting till springtime to read this because that's when I start really getting into gardening, obviously, because you can't do it in wintertime. So I'm very excited for this one. I love books that are quiet but just beautiful, so I'm hoping this will be that. At least I bought that I still have yet to read, and I'm bad at myself, and that is A Sea of Unspoken Things by Adrienne Young. I've read all of her adult books and I enjoyed them. I love Spells for Forgetting, one of my favorites. So this one is more of a mystery one, which is maybe why I haven't picked it up yet. A woman investigates her twin brother's mysterious death while confronting the ghost of her own haunted past. And so that's all I know about it. She writes very short novels, so I know I could fly through it. Like, this one is only not even 300 pages, so I need to read this soon. I haven't heard the best of things about it. Then I got a couple of memoirs because I do enjoy them and I always listen to them, but I do like having them physically. I have From Here to the Great Unknown by Lisa Marie Presley and Riley Keough. This is Lisa Marie Presley's memoir. She was writing before she sadly passed away, and so Riley picked it up a lot with helping put it together. You actually get to hear Lisa's voice in this a lot, and also Julia Roberts narrates it. So if you don't know, she's Elvis's daughter and Elvis's granddaughter, so you get really a glimpse into that, so it's very interesting. I also bought People Pleaser by Ginger Duggar Vulo. She is one of the Duggars, and I used to watch the Duggars all the time, and then a lot of things happen with them, which is sad. I've read a couple of, I feel like this is like the 3rd or 4th sister that has written a book, so I feel like it's going to be kind of wash, rinse, repeat, if that's the right saying. Like, this is only like literally 200 pages, but I will listen to this one because I'm interested to hear her side and things like that. I have, you know how I said I wasn't big on special editions, and I'm really not, but when I'm there at the right time, and I'll get it, okay? I got One Dark Window by Rachel Gillick. I saw this in Barnes & Noble. I've been seeing it on TikTok a lot. Have I heard about this book? No. But this cover screams by me. Like, look at this junk. This is freaking stunning. Like, who wouldn't want to buy this? I really hope I like it. I loathe when I buy really beautiful cover books and I don't enjoy them, and I'm like, I just gotta unhaul it because I'm not liking it. But it hurts your heart because it's such a beautiful book, you know? You know. This one I don't know much about. It says, there once was a girl clever and good who tarred and shadowed the depths of the wood. There also was a king, a shepherd by his crook, who reigned over magic and wrote the old book. The two were together, so the two were the same, the girl, the king, and the monster they became. I've heard amazing things about this. I believe it's duology. I didn't buy the second one, special edition, because I wasn't sure if I was going to like this one. So I will buy it. Hopefully it's still there. I don't know. But we'll have to see. I'm excited and also apprehensive. Oh, remember how I talked about gardening? Well, your girl got some vegetable gardening books because I'm doing that this year. So first up, I got the Farmer's Almanac Vegetable Gardener's Handbook. This just really helps you tell you what to grow and things like that. And also has like a little section of what you can put, like, let's see, like my favorite veggies, things, you know, just things of writing of how it goes. I'm not going too crazy. I'm just going to have some raised garden beds this year that my husband's going to build me. I'm not going to go too hard my first year because I could totally fail at it. I really could, but I want to try. The only things I really am going to try to grow this year are tomatoes, cucumbers, bell peppers, and maybe a couple other things. I just want to do like 5 things and really see if I can do them, and there you have it. What I got is this one. This is the first time gardeners growing vegetables that all know how an encouragement you need to grow and fall in love. This is like, because I don't know what I'm doing as far as like flour is one thing, but growing like actual food you're going to eat is a whole nother thing. So these 2 books hopefully will help me, and I'm going to start to really dive into them probably at the end of February, beginning of March, when the spring is actually going to come into fruition. So I'm excited about that. Then what do you know? I bought another dragon book. I know. Fear the Flames by Olivia Rose Darling. I've heard good things about this one. This one is an exiled princess teams up with the last man she thought she could trust in the start of a dazzling and unforgettable epic fantasy romance series. I don't know anything about this. It's got a map. That's cool. It's got dragons in it. What, you know, it's like dragons with vampires in me. I'm going to keep reading until I find ones I love. Most of the time I might not like them. But either way, you know, dragons are a big thing, obviously because of Fourth Wing. I'm not mad at it. Then I have a couple of Kate Quinn books because I read The Briar Club last year and really enjoyed it. She writes historical fiction, and I do enjoy it from time to time. So I have the Rose Code. This one is, I don't know much about this one. It says, the heart-stopping World War II story involving 3 female code breakers at Bletchley Park and the spy they must uncover after the war is over. So it sounds very interesting. And then I have The Huntress by her. And this one, I believe, is about a girl that thinks that her father is about to marry a Nazi sympathizer, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but she writes, like, really interesting historical books. Like, I don't feel like I'm reading historical books so when I read them. Does that make any sense? I don't know, but I do enjoy them. Another special edition got me at Barnes & Noble, which is why I don't go to Barnes & Noble. I maybe go to Barnes & Noble maybe 3 times a year, if that. And special editions usually don't get me. But I mean this one, The Lost Bookshop by Evie Woods. There's books on the spine. It's just, it's freaking stunning. It says, he always said that books were more than words on paper. They were portals to other places, other lives. I mean, like, just go ahead. Takes book lovers' monies, okay? This one is A Quiet Street in Dublin. A lost bookshop is waiting to be found. So I think it's all about a bookshop, but it has fantastical elements in it. I don't know. I'm expecting it to be a quiet novel again, kind of like the Twilight Garden. So we'll see. Then I do have one book I was sent so kindly by the Dow Press, and that is Promise Me Sunshine by Cara Bastone. She wrote Ready or Not, which I read last year and loved it. This one, I don't know anything about. Grieving the loss of her best friend, a young woman's life is turned upside down when she meets a grumpy stranger who swears he can help her live again in this heartwarming, slow burn romance. I hope it's just going to be just really cutesy romance, kind of like Ready or Not was. That's just how I feel. And the last book I bought is, again, going back into my, if you don't know, hi, I'm Heather. I'm 36, but I'm also 86 apparently, because I have just skipped the whole midlife crisis and just went right into the grandma hobbies, and I am not mad about that. So this past year, like I said, I got into flower gardening. I also got into bird watching. I love birds like I never thought I would. It all started in 2022 when cardinals literally laid a nest right outside my front window, and I watched them. I watched the mom sit on the eggs. I watched the eggs hatch. I watched them that just really made me fall in love with backyard birds. And so I bought this, and this is the Backyard Bird Chronicles by Amy Tan. And this is just her. She sketches all the birds she sees in her backyard and kind of takes notes about every day and the different foods maybe they like. And I have for a bird feeder. And I enjoy watching what birds come and how it's different with the seasons. I've learned that when I just started this last year, like noticing what birds came in spring and then they kind of went away, and now I have totally different birds in winter, and I'm wondering if it's going to change in spring. But I love it. It's just so, I love reconnecting with nature. It's a very big part, I think, of life, is just watching nature and unplugging. Like, I love sitting outside, reading, and just listening to the bird songs and things like that. If you want to know what type of birds I have the app, the Merlin, which I always recommend. Right now in my backyard, I get a lot of eastern bluebirds, which I love. Those are one of my favorites. I get a lot of yellow-rumped warblers. Right now there's a lot of starlings, a lot of red-winged blackbirds. But in the springtime, my yard was full of grackles, man. They love to nest up in my pine trees. Like, I literally saved probably about 5 adolescent grackles that fell on the ground. And, I know it's like, you can't move them, but I have a dog and 2 kids. So, like, I got to move them. So I moved them to a safer place. But anyway, I have those a lot. I have a lot of Carolina chickadees, Carolina wrens, a lot of sparrows, house sparrows, song sparrows. I have woodpeckers. I have red-belly woodpeckers and downy woodpeckers. Those are the 2 main ones. A lot of nuthatches, because like I said, I have a lot of pine trees. So those are just some of, I have a lot of northern cardinals too, like so many cardinals, like so many. I wonder if they're the same cardinals that were babies in my nest. But either way, I love bird watching. It is a thing. I have binoculars. I literally have a seat out there, and I have my daughter as a seat with me. And sometimes we'll just sit with our books and we'll look at them. And I'm like, this is life. This is what it is, and I love it. So it doesn't make me like an old grandma, yes, but I don't care, because it brings me happiness and I love it. It brings me to nature, and that's great. So yeah, long story short, those are all the books I bought. A lot of books. So as always, let me know if you've read any of these. If you didn't, let me know what your thoughts on them. I would love to know. And again, thank you so much to Book of the Month for sponsoring this video, and I will see you in my next one. Hopefully I'll read some of these. Really, really hope so. Thanks for watching. Bye.